Nice to meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Thanks for coming here at the PSG Academy in Hong Kong.
Yes, the environment looks amazing. So would you like to talk about yourself first?
For sure.
Yeah, sure.
So my name is Benjamin Houri. I'm the technical director of all the Paris Saint-Germain academies in the world. We're in 22 countries.
Yeah.
I've been at PSG for 14 years. I started when I was very young, at 18.
14 years.
Yeah, now I'm 32 years old, so I've been at the club for a very long time. I've seen the methodology adapt and to where it is today.
Yeah.
And here I am in Hong Kong, speaking to you now.
Cool, great. So we've got some questions about you and about PSG Academy as well. So feel free to answer.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. The first question is how do you develop your career in coaching? So also in recent years, more and more coaches who are not former professional players, but they can still make the ranks in the industry, like Will Steele in James. Yes, he's a very young coach and very talented.
Young, very talented man.
Sure. Yeah. So how do you see this trend coming?
For sure. I started coaching when I was very young. I was 14 years old when I started coaching kids. Very young. I knew I was going to be a professional footballer. I didn't have the physical attributes, but I've always been passionate about football. So I started coaching at 14. And at 16 to 20 years old, I was in England passing my coaching degrees, my coaching badges. Yeah. And at 18, I started internship. Do you understand internship at PSG?
Yeah.
And then it's just experience. As a coach, you need a lot of patience, a lot of passion. Without passion, you can't be the best at what you want to do. And so there's more and more talented young coaches that maybe go through the university path, that get into coaching very young, that can coach at the professional level if that's what they want, or very good coaches that prefer coaching young kids that are maybe not as famous as the ones you see on TV, but that help young footballers from all ages to become professional or just to promote the values of football.
Cool. So you said patience and passion is very important. So,
for sure.
So for example, so if someone wants to become develop himself as a football coach professionally, so what else the criteria or any obstacles they would need to overcome? For example, getting in the industry, and also how to develop the internal values of themselves.
So how do you make it as a coach? Is that your question?
Yeah.
But you need, I said, a lot of patience, because you need to be willing to spend a lot of time on the grass, a lot of time with the players. You need to be very willing to learn. I've been coaching for 18 years and I'm always learning. When I'm in Hong Kong, I'm learning from the local coaches. I'm learning from the local technical directors. We're always consistently learning, and you have to be lucky and always be open to opportunities to show that you're knowledgeable, that you're always open-minded, and if you work hard, if you're always turning up, being positive, having energy, people will see it. When you coach, you're always observed by parents, by players, by other coaches, by technical directors. You're always observed. So if you're good, you'll be seen. You can be a good coach in Hong Kong, in Africa, wherever. If you're good, you'll be seen and opportunities will be open to you.
Yeah, why I'm asking, because we've got some friends who's Hong Kongers, but they are working in Spain, working in Sweden as well. So I think the trend right now is not about nationalities anymore.
No, not at all.
So
not at all. Football is there's no borders in football. Everybody knows each other. I'm sure your friends that are in Europe, somebody I know knows them. We're all connected. We're all passionate about the sport, and if you work hard, with internet now you can get connections by everybody, and for sure that patience and hard work always pays off. I'm a true believer in patience and hard work.
Okay, that's cool. So let's talk about the academy over here, the Hong Kong and Macau. So we understand Hong Kong and Macau's academy established last year, and results so far looks quite promising. So could you talk about the process of the establishment over here, and also how do you design for example, the training program to fit the context of Hong Kong and Macau students?
Excellent question. So there's two questions in yours. So we're very, very excited to open PSG Academy in September in Hong Kong. We know we have a lot of fans of PSG, young kids in Hong Kong and Macau, and we're very proud that now they can have locations in the city where every week they can turn up, wear the PSG logo and learn football in a specific training methodology. I'm sure you know that at PSG we have a specific training methodology. The kids here in Hong Kong are going to use the same training philosophy, training drills, training methodology that we use at PSG at the Centre de Formation. So the Centre de Formation is the youth academy of PSG. Here in Hong Kong they use the exact same methodology. The PSG Academy and the Youth Academy, we work hands in hand. It's not two different separate departments. For instance, my job in Paris, so I work at the Youth Academy as an assistant coach of the under 14s and 15s. Therefore, every day I'm on the pitch and I can share the knowledge, the methodology to all the coaches in the world.
That's cool. So any interesting observations so far in Hong Kong, for example, the football habits and also the
I've been here for a week. I've had time to watch many training sessions. I knew because I came to China in 2019 when the professional team was doing the summer tour in Shenzhen and in China. So I knew there was a lot of talent of players in this region of the world. Here in Hong Kong, I'm very happy to see that the players are very willing to learn. They learn very fast. So you tell them one feedback, they quickly take the information and adapt it. So as a coach, that's beautiful for us. The level of football in Hong Kong is growing every year. The coaches that are here full time, so we have 4 French coaches that live in Hong Kong and Macau. They told me that the quality of the players is very good. I was lucky to see it this week. And methodology, we're here to promote creative, unpredictable, intelligent players, and I think it matches very good with the population of the kids here in Hong Kong.
Cool. So, well, I would like to ask you the question about the coaching philosophy in PSG. So, but you said it's the same around the globe. So, my question is, so how this pedagogical philosophy could execute and ensure the quality in across the whole academy?
So a training methodology, so the same one that we use in Paris, we chose a philosophy was to use the exact same methodology in all the academies in the world. So we have 50,000 players in Brazil, Africa, Asia, all over the world, and we believe that specific training methodology that is built for elite players in Paris can be adapted to all players in the world depending on their level. Players that want to discover football, that are fans of PSG and want to have a bit of French magic when they come here, or elite players that you're going to see this afternoon that want to play at the highest level possible, maybe professional if they're very talented and lucky, or university football. But we can adapt that methodology to all levels. Before you ask the question, I'll explain the methodology because that's what I love to talk about. The methodology of PSG is we're not going to specifically focus only on the technique, on the exact technique, or we're going to create a methodology that is to have smart, intelligent players. So in all our exercises, we want our players to adapt, to think, to take some information, okay? A good example of a player that's been through all the training methodology at PSG is Warren Zaïre-Emery, that I'm sure you know, that's doing unbelievable. He is a global player. He's technically very good. Physically, he's advanced. His perception skills, or the information he takes, his decision making is excellent because at methodology is going to focus on all of these aspects to be able at the highest level to find solutions themselves. So a PSG coach in Paris or Hong Kong or all over the world is never going to tell a player what to do when he has the ball. We want the player to do the good decision himself or the wrong decision himself. And at Youth Academy, you want young players to do mistakes. So then as a coach, you can question him, give him feedback. So then he does less mistakes at the important level when he's an adult. So we use a lot of questioning. You're going to watch the training session afterwards, you're going to see that the local coaches and of course the French coaches are going to ask a lot of questions to the players. We want the young players to be actors of the training session. We want them to turn up. When they come in here, they're going to sprint because they're excited to come. They're going to be active. They're going to be asking questions, being creative. We want the players to dribble, to have fun. All of these aspects for them to really think what they're doing and not just do.
Yeah. So that means so your philosophy is all about developing the football quotients and also for our understanding of the modern football game is it's very situational. It's
exactly. You could be sitting at my position. Yeah. It's exactly this. We want football. There's never the same situation twice.
Yeah.
So all of the training is going to be how the players are going to find the solutions themselves, not pass, shoot. Us as a coach, we can't from the sideline tell the player what to do. It's the players that are in the middle of the pitch. They're the ones filling the distances between both players, the space. So we want them to always be able to have tools to think themselves and do the decisions themselves. And why does it work at the PSG Academy? Because players, they want to be actors of the session. They want to play themselves, to be creative, to know when is a good time to play collectively, when is a good time to dribble. It's up to the players. Us coaches, I always say it, we can only guide the players. Then in the match, even in the training, it's up to them to find the solutions, to have fun and to really be actor. Do you understand? Actor of the training session.
Okay, it's cool. So you across the globe, so you oversee many academies in PSG. So would you, for example, you like to pick some players back to the PSG's the campus
academy over
there, so back or to pick some players, for example, maybe to the first team. So what kind of metrics? So what else from besides the situation, the problem solving skills, and so what other metrics that you observe in the training then?
So at the PSG Academy, we have 50,000 players in the world. For the under 11s and under 13s, we organize in Paris the PSG Academy World Cup. So Hong Kong are going to bring 2 teams this year, under 11s and under 13s, for the tournament where every country brings their best players. During that tournament, there's going to be scouts at the Youth Academy. So if there's very good players, the scouts, they know them. We give the information to them. But as you know, before 18, no player that's outside of Europe can come to Paris to play for the Youth Academy.
Yeah, for the regulations.
Exactly, and this is a good rule. We don't want, even if we have the next Warren Zaïre-Emery at 14 years old in Hong Kong, PSG, we don't want to bring into Europe. There's so many aspects to make it at the elite level that we want him to be at home, to train close to home with his parents, and then if he's very good at 18, the professional team could contact him. But all of the studies have shown that the players that have made it at the highest level, they've trained close to home up to the latest possible. You understand? That's why at PSG, at the Youth Academy, the elite, we only scout players that live close to Paris. Because we want them to be close to the family for the emotional and physical well-being. It's very, very important. But to answer your question, if there's a very, very good player 14, 15 years at Hong Kong, me as technical director, I would take the information and send it to the scouts at PSG, because we're always fans of talented players all over the world.
True. So let's move on to Paris. So the campus PSG in Poissy. So it's just finished.
It's just finished.
And I've seen the drone video. And
amazing. Basically, the professional team, they moved in July. And then us, the Youth Academy, we moved in January. So it's a very big building, as you can imagine. We're one of the only clubs in Europe that have the under 17s women's, under 19s women's, the 13, 14, 15 boys all together mixing. And it's such an elite environment. The facilities are elite.
Yeah.
The connection between the coaches are strong, and it was very important for the club to have this new step to promote even more young players.
Yeah.
PSG with the club of the new generation of fans, the new generation of players, and having that building is going to make everything more easier for the connections with the first team, the young team, and hopefully you can come over and visit one day. We would be happy to welcome you.
So what could you expect of bonding between the first team and the youth team? So would they, are you guys planning to put them together and train? And
there's a lot of opportunities for the young players at PSG to make it to the first team.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to have Luis Enrique, the first team coach, that is a very, very big believer in young players.
Yeah.
In this morning game, PSG at 4 o'clock this morning played against Monaco. They had a lot of young players on the bench that are going to get some minutes slowly and slowly. The youth academy and the first team has always had a strong connection since Nicolas Anelka. He came to Hong Kong. He came to Hong Kong and he was one of the young players to play for PSG at 17. There's always been a belief that young players in Paris can make it to the first team.
So let's move on to the PSG's France national team contribution. So we can see some youngsters in the club breaking through the ranks, like Lamina at Wolves, and Ayman Kali on loan at Lorient, and Ethan Mapalpe, and also Mayulu. So those players you may work with. So how do you assess them, and how these U21 players could bridge the gap in order to contribute themselves into the men's national team's level?
For the first team at PSG? For sure. How can they make it? They've already proven that they have a lot of talent. If at the bridge of the first team, it shows that they have all the skills needed for it. I'm very confident that Luis Enrique is going to give a lot of minutes to the young players at PSG. He's a strong believer in giving young players a chance. This year already, Ethan Mbappe has come in and played. Some other youngsters have played in the first team, and it's challenging because the first team has a lot of talent, a lot of players. But this year we're confident that Luis Enrique is going to give a chance to many of them.
That's great. So we talk about her success. A player turning from youth to pro. So what's the from your experience, what's the age of make it or break it?
Good question. There's no specific age. There is always a big gap between under 19s and professional. From my experience, what's going to make it is going to be the mentality. Okay, how can they always be willing to work hard when it's not going as good, to always be positive, be focused? It's being a professional player. I wasn't, but from my experience, it's a lot of mental skills to make it, to work hard. The talent, everybody's got it. When you're at the first team in PSG, from under 13s to 19, you have the talent. Then it's going to be that spirit, that energy to work hard, and to, when you get a chance, to prove it.
So as a coach, how could you help those players mentally to improve themselves or influence
in
them?
a methodology? We focus on this. So everything we do at training, from the beginning, so we use the stimulation game, like a warm-up, to the end game, we add competition in the training session. We want PSG players in Hong Kong, all over the world, to always be willing to win. Do you understand? So we're counting the points. 1 + 1 + 2, 2-1. From even in this training session that you can see in the background, where you're going to have 7, 8 years old, there's going to be competition. We believe that winning spirit can be cultivated at training, for then at the first team, when you get a chance, you have that mentality of that Parisian mentality of always be wanting to win. Have you been to Paris before?
Yeah.
Great. In Paris, we're very lucky that in the whole of city, in the suburbs of Paris, there's a lot of, we call them city stade. It's small 3v3, 4v4, small-sided football pitches.
Yeah, I've seen it in those parks.
Yeah,
it's a Sunday morning. Yeah.
As a kid, you finish school at 3 o'clock, you drop your bag, you play up to it's dark. all of the players at PSG have gone through these parks. And there's competition for non-stop. Winning team stays on, winning team stays on, you lose, you go out. That's why the Parisian mentality is these street football players that are very good technically, because you play in small-sided pitches. You always want to win. And then when you come at the youth academy in Paris, technically you're very good, mentally you're very strong, physically physically everybody can progress. We do at the youth academy. Tactically, knowledgeable coaches like the ones at the youth academy can do video analysis, feedback, and then we want them to work on their understanding of the game, on perception, scanning on the open side, the blind side. So what do I need to turn my head to see? Understanding of the game,
understanding of the space,
and this is what we focus on a lot at the youth academy, because technically all of the players are good because they're trained a lot. To become a good footballer, you need to touch the ball a lot. And we're very lucky in Paris that the government in the 70s have invested in these pitches. If it's there, you're going to play. Imagine in Hong Kong, the government puts pianos everywhere. In 20 years, you're going to have some jazz players. It's logical. So, where technically all the players at Paris are very good.
It's all about the mentality.
Well, there's a lot of talent in Paris. That's why the scouts have a lot of work to find the best in Paris for the elite academy. And at the last World Cup in Qatar, I'm sure you've seen there was 22 players from Paris. Not all in France, some from other countries in Africa or wherever, because there's a lot of talent in Paris.
That's cool.
I've been lucky to travel the world. There's talent in every country. PSG Academy, we're in 22 different countries. There's talent everywhere. There's talent in Hong Kong. And we're very proud to implement a methodology and adapt it for all the kids in the world, and for us more specifically in Hong Kong and Macau.
That's cool. So it's very nice to chat with you.
It was very nice.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
For your time.
Thank you.
Okay.